Hello again, it's Garsen, and what the heck are these dudes doing here? Alright, Astarion, get out of the corner. Stop talking about your hand, your arcane magic hand over here. Why don't you go give us a demonstration in your best Joker impression? Ready? Here we go. Shake my hand. Alright. Show us what the Arcane Trickster can do. I'll flip this guy over here. Okay, get back to Astarion. Now we're gonna get a little offhand attack. Or not. Oh, oh, can't hit me. Uh-oh. Oh, too evasive. What's our armor class anyway? 20. Nice. Pretty cool. Okay, so, if you would, shock this guy. Get that arcane synergy going. And now, strike him with the offhand. There you go. Sneak attack. How'd that happen? Interesting. It's like I have 3 hands or something. You'll never hit me. Oh, damn. Temporary hit point. Oh, jeez. Oh. Damn. Alright. Oh, you're vulnerable, huh? So, let's get another icy sneak attack in. Bah! Okay. So, we didn't need sneak attack for that one, huh? So, we'll park this guy right back here. And now we'll go for another strike. We still have arcane synergy. Yeah, sneak attack. Oh, almost got him. Almost got him. Oh. All right. Now give him a good shake. Toasted. Beautiful. All right. Anybody else want to do a little demo? Oh, I know. Shadowheart, what do you think? Yeah, come on out here. Show him the broken stuff. All right.
This
Okay, so let's get your hand out. A little bit of a multi-class, right? Okay, because he stole a whole bunch of scrolls, right? You and the gang stole a bunch of darkness scrolls, so we'll put that over here. Okay, so I don't even need to know this spell. I'll just steal a scroll and then start going to town. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, pew, 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 pew. And pew, 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 pew. And pew, 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 pew. Oh, beautiful. All right, Handy. Hans, fly over there. Woo. All right, need you in safety. All right, and tell you what, we'll just end our turn. Kaboom! No. Where are you going? What you doing? Oh! Nice try. Okay, so how about this? You got full HP? No. But you have full HP? Oh, yeah. So, what we'll do is have hands. Hands, come over here. Whee! You're not in combat, are you, buddy? Okay, so we'll go 1 and 2 and 3. Ba-ba-ba-bam. Alright, and now we have arcane synergy from the ring and using a cantrip. And Hans is right next to you, so we get a little sneak attack with force damage. Ooh, murdered! Oh, 26 force damage. Oh, you like that? Oh, we all like that. That's crazy. How'd he do that? Oh, yeah, that's what we're here to talk about. Okay, so let's go back to that little corner back in time. And guess what? Triumphant return. The little whiteboard. Yeah, obviously I'll be using this a lot. This is going to be a more like indulgent video because I really like this subclass, and we are talking about Arcane Trickster. I think they're cool, and I think you're cool too for watching. So if you'll stick around, we're going to talk a little bit about it, and then I'm actually going to go over some fun builds. So quick ramble about the subclass, see if I can change your mind about it. I don't really care though. You can have your own opinions. I just like the subclass, so let's talk about it. And then, like I said, I'll do some breakdowns on these builds. Not that comprehensive, but, you know. Anyway, get ready for some opinionated perspective on this. And let's pretend I've read that some people said, we'll just pretend. We're not throwing shade at anybody. No one really said this, but let's say they said this subclass sucks, right? And isn't Swordsbar just a better Arcane Trickster? Why wouldn't you just multi like a wizard into a rogue like Thief Rogue or Assassin or something? All right. Well, let's talk about it a little bit. Let's get out of the hustle over here. There we go. Alright, so let's all get out of the corner. Stop talking about Hans. I know he's cool, but... Okay. Man, you guys are really good at stealth. Alright, let's see how long they can do stealth while I talk about this. Let's just stand there and stealth. Okay, so let's actually pull up Astarion here for this. So, I think the other subclasses are really great, because you might be saying, doesn't this subclass suck, right? So, in reference to that, there is the same class features on Rogue. I think Rogue overall is a little underrated. I think it's an awesome class, and I certainly didn't respect its power until I really started playing. And Arcane Trickster was always, obviously, as someone who likes spellblades and magic in general. Plus, I like the rogue idea, so we put them together. I think it's really cool, right? But okay, let's look at some of the other subclasses, right? Obviously, thief, or rather, the features of a rogue, you get all the same in the other subclasses, right? So you're going to get expertise at level 1. You're going to get, let's actually look at expertise here, right? You can get a bunch of expertise as you level up. This is very useful for sleight of hand or stealth, or maybe dialogue choices. The power of having these actions on bonus action, not just your regular action, gives you a lot of freedom of movement, which in honor mode I find I'll really value. If you watch enough of my videos, I won't shut up about boots of speed or rogue having the bonus action dash, but also cunning action hide is kind of how you enable the most basic ways of getting your sneak attack going, and sneak attack dice. So obviously Rogue has a lot of unique features that you build around, like sneak attack damage, having the bonus actions, having that expertise, right? And then is that pretty much it? Well, then you get the subclasses, right? And and I should say you can also get a lot of feats, right? So I think this guy has 2 ASI and then another 2 ASI, like in Dex and Intelligence, and he has Savage Attacker, so that's 3 right there, and Actor is the 4th one. So 4 feats. When you go all the way into Rogue, you can have 4 feats, which is a bit of a unique thing. Thief, though, if we look at a Thief, you do get 2 bonus actions and a few other stuff. It seems like a very simple class, but then again, it's just kind of more of what you want as a rogue anyway, with all these bonus actions. I try to highlight in one of these builds how dual wielding, whether it's the hand crossbows or just light weapons, finesse, light, dual wielding is your extra attack. That's why rogues don't really get it. And having a bonus action is like an extra attack, but then you can do a lot more with it. And I don't think, I'm guilty of this. I always thought, okay, well, whoop-de-freaking do, but Thief is actually very powerful. And of course, when we talk about multiclass, that's a big deal too. What about Assassin? You get instant critical hits, or guaranteed critical hits on surprised opponents, so they're great at initiation. You could even do a solo run or utilize it in your multi-class and get that feature where the first round of combat, as long as you surprise them, you're getting criticals, so your dice damage on your sneak attack is just through the roof. You can do some really crazy stuff, and because you're a rogue, like I said, you can just kind of run in and out of combat with a bonus action, or maybe you built your dash up with momentum gear, like the haste helmet or whatnot. So Assassin, whether you pure Assassin or multi it, very powerful, right? Not to mention, you get all of your actions back once you open up an initiation attack and combat starts. Your actions refreshed as if you never used it. So pretty cool stuff, right? So they can still cast scrolls if they have a high intelligence stat. They use intelligence. So you can steal a bunch of scrolls if you have expertise in your sleight of hand. And as a rogue, you're going to be based on dexterity. So these subclasses, and just being a rogue, with the focus on intelligence, you can still cast scrolls because you're going to be stealing all this stuff. I don't know if you're going to have 20 blights or 20, what do you call it, walls of fire, but, obviously for demo purposes, I just grabbed a bunch of scrolls. You can always just haste yourself. What else are you really concentrating on? So, okay, pure or multi, obviously they're great subclasses, and the class overall is pretty powerful. Swashbuckler's coming out too. We did a video on that, previewing the new subclasses coming to the game in patch 8. January, but what they can't do is they don't cast cantrips, okay? They can get a staff, there's 2 staffs in the game, or maybe 3, that give you cantrips. They could cast that way if you want to do a really goofy build, but then you're like, why aren't you just playing Arcane Trickster? Is that really not appealing for you? But they can cast cantrips. I find that Shocking Grasp is a really good one to use. Arcane Tricksters can cast spells. You can say, oh, well, I can cast scrolls with the other ones. Yes, you can, but you're not casting spells. And that kind of comes into a big detail because you can cast things on reaction like, where is it for, let's look at Minnie real quick. So Minnie on reaction can cast shield. So her playstyle, her build was more geared towards having the shield on reaction, okay? So that is a spell, and you can't just, you know, pull that on a scroll. You have that on reaction, right? Not to mention you innately have some spell slots here. So hold person, Tasha's, and you learn them as you level up as if you were, what's it called? You're like a learned caster. You learn it and you can replace, you know, maybe Tasha's isn't useful anymore or charm, so you switch it out for hold person. But yeah, just like Eldritch Knight, the spells list is going to be minimal because you're a third caster. You don't get a lot of slots even at level 12. And you're going to learn more utility spells than anything. But you do get the cantrips, and you can build off of them. And they can have some fun with the... You can still use your sneak attack, but we'll go over that. It's not as straightforward as you think, right? They don't have Hans, which I think is one of the best features of the subclass. So Hans being just not just any old mage hand. He is the... as you say, ledger domain. Someone's going to correct me on that. So mage hand, ledger domain. Okay. So this is a special mage hand that lasts not for 10 turns. Okay. But it's for all the way until long rest. It's permanent, right? And the nice thing is it comes in invisible. It doesn't cost you anything. You should probably cast it out of combat. But you can get this back on short rest. And if your hand here is still up, this means he can, when you short rest, right, he will actually go invisible again. So let's actually take a look at that. If he were to, say, slap Astarion, hey, buddy, yeah, now he's not invisible, right? So if he has done anything to come out of invisibility, he's permanent, but then he has no feature. This is something that really should be updated a little bit. Kind of just have invisibility on the fly. If Shovel can do it, why not him? But if you short rest, he does go back invisible, which is great because that means, like any summon, you could give this guy a strength elixir or maybe a heroism or vigilance. So let's go ahead and drag one over here, and we'll drop one on the floor. And if you don't know this about summons, just a very useful feature, because this means he can drink this, right? He still stays invisible while drinking it. Now he has really good initiative. And so if he needs to, if he ends up in combat, he can still run away and you can preserve him. But also a mage hand could drink, say, the elixir of giant strength, and he would have 21 strength, and he can actually throw weapons and do a little extra damage as a free action. I don't know if that's the most useful thing, especially like the most useful thing for throwing would be, for instance, and we'll try and do this later, but what we'll do is take this and we'll drop an invisibility potion on the ground, and let's say Handy was like really far away, okay, and you were like, oh crap, I've been revealed, this is a really bad situation, or I'm doing like a lone wolf or something. You can actually pick this up and throw it at your party or your characters, right? And they can get haste or invisible, and then Minthara can just be like, okay, I'm out, bye. And that is crazy utility, especially because on short rest, he'll go back to being invisible, or you can make him invisible too, or he can just be a sacrificial lamb, whatever you want to do. It's just, you're like in the tabletop, supposedly this hand is like super awesome and very creative, and it makes Arcane Trickster very powerful, but then it gets like a reputation for not being very strong, so it's kind of funny. I think it's incredibly powerful and one of the best features to the subclass. But anyway, we'll talk more about hands or try to utilize them a little bit more. But there is one other thing Hans can do that I will highlight. You probably saw it in the intro. He can enable your sneak attack, right? So let's actually come over here and demonstrate this. Okay, so I'm vulnerable, like I'm out in the open. I don't have advantage, but if I can get a hit on this guy, I don't actually have the best accuracy right now, so let's use some oil. Okay, so if I can get an accurate hit on, because the hand is right next to my target, this meets the condition, right? So you can also sneak attack targets threatened by adjacent allies. He counts as an adjacent ally. This is crazy, and it's not like some glitch or something, you know. Oh, good job, Astarion. You're supposed to get that. All right, quickly blast them. Okay. We'll reload again. All right, so yeah, the hand is super useful, especially for that big rogue trait, which is you can have even like a solo run or just a unique situation. If no one's around, you can still enable, and you don't have to keep sneaking around and wasting your bonus action, right? Just being out in the open, you can have like a more combat ready rogue, and it's all thanks to this Arcane Trickster hand. Okay, so generally focused on weapon combat. Okay, so they do, okay, the other guys are more generally focused on weapon combat is what I'm saying. So they don't have the hand. The other subclasses also are more focused on weapon combat, maybe ranged or melee weapons, okay? Or they're sneaking around to get their sneak attack, whereas we can just be out in the open about it. You can still build an Arcane Trickster like Mini here for more open weapon combat. Okay, or they're just focused on a different gameplay style, which is definitely something I wanted to highlight with all three of these guys. How more, I feel like there's more variety in these builds, thanks to Arcane Trickster, than say the other subclasses. But all right, let's keep moving on. What about the Bard argument? I think Bard is overall the strongest class in the game, and that's just by results. That's not, doesn't mean it's my favorite, doesn't mean I can't sit there and objectively look at like, yeah, it's a freaking strong class. And in comparison to a subclass like Swords Bard, not multi-classing, they also get, as Bards, expertise, right? So Bard would also, this isn't a Bard, but they would also be able to get expertise on the things you want, like sleight of hand and maybe persuasion. They're actually charisma focused for their spell casting, so it's already getting that natural benefit of expertise in any of these dialogue charisma checks, but then they get the bonus from the charisma stat, and then all of their spells are based on their mental stat. Their spell save DC would be high up like this because it's based on charisma, not intelligence, right? Okay, so Bard Inspire attacks for a Swords Bard, that's huge. People love to comment how like amazing it is to get more armor class or more, you know, like 2 shots on your ranged weapon, crazy stuff. They do get the 2 weapon style, unlike Rogue, even though we kind of want to use our 2 weapon style here. Unlike you know, Swords Bard, we don't get fighting styles, so we don't get our proficiency on our offhand, okay? They do have the fun Vicious Mockery cantrip. I might as well throw that out there. You can still get this because you have 4 feats as a rogue, but okay. So plenty of spells without trying to rely on scrolls. They have plenty of spells. They are full spell casters, so they have tons of spell slots too, okay? And they do get their extra attack just like a martial at level 6. It's a kind of stupid comparison, right? Yes, they're loaded, okay? They are getting martial capabilities at level 6 instead of level 5, just 1 level later. Whoop-de-freaking-do, right? They're based on charisma. That's like, okay, they're a dex and charisma based character, 2 of the best stats in the game. Okay, they get expertise just like that should be Rogue's thing. I don't know. And then they have all these spell slots, tons of good spells. They get magical secrets at 10. We're not even talking about multi-classing and all this stuff. So it's just crazy. So yes, they're probably better, but they're not the same thing. They don't do Arcane Trickster better, in my opinion, okay? Maybe some of these builds do work, okay, but I don't know. The hand and a few other features and sneak attack, and this is what I'm talking about. They are still not rogues. Again, it's not, I guess my argument really just relies on this hill, but they're not the same play style, right? If you want to play a rogue, there's a reason to play it, right? There's sneak attack, there's sneak as a bonus action. Arcane Tricksters have this cool feature at level 9, Magical Ambush, where if you're coming out of a sneak, you can actually get it, your opponent has disadvantage on, say, a spell save DC like Hold Person, right? So, or if you're about to throw out a fireball, they have disadvantage on the dexterity save, okay? So, Rogues, again, at level 2, have dash as a bonus action. Scrolls still exist, so the whole argument that, oh, I can't get powerful spells, scrolls are broken, dude. They're just in the game. You can use them. Int has its benefits. There's detect for certain dialogue choices. I'm still experimenting with this. I know they're not the best stat in the game, and I know they're not the best at like dialogue checks or anything, but detect, what is it, read thoughts or detect thoughts, like this, I'm still experimenting how powerful that could be, but there are benefits going into this, right? Plus, you know, it's a stat, and there's actually an item that does give you like 17 intelligence if you don't even want to spec into it, and then you can do what I did, you can use the dexterity gloves. They do get 4 feats, so that is something objectively factual about a level 12 rogue versus a level 12 Swords Bard and whatnot, okay? So, you still can't you can still build for charisma benefits. I actually did it twice, one on a little multi-class here and one on a pure class. As you can see here, I'm cheating with the dexterity gloves because you can get them early. They give you an effective 18 dexterity, which is wild for everything this does. I could do a whole video about the gloves of dexterity. But yeah, these are very powerful gloves, and this is what I call statmanology, the study of statman. So you can have 3 major stats: charisma, intelligence, and dexterity. And we could take it even further if we had even more stuff like the elixir of giant strength. Okay, so again, no Hans friend. Swords bards can't do that, okay? And the last thing is, well, you know, why don't you just multi-class it into a wizard? Okay, same argument I would make for Eldritch Knight. I'll even talk about Eldritch Knight because I love it. It's a great subclass. But same argument here. I'm not really talking about multi-classing, okay? Multi-classing is such a multifaceted argument for what we're talking about that it kind of just blows out the discussion altogether. I don't really care about it because multis are, of course, very powerful. And if you wanted to be a like full-on wizard rogue, you should multi-class. That's the power of it. They are fun. Multi-class is tons of fun. They add tons of replay value to the game. That's why I can't stop playing this stupid game. And then there's tons of freedom because of the multi-classing, okay? So the value of a sub or a class is not determined by, oh, I could just multi that, so that's now invalidated. To an extent, somewhat, but again, you just blow out the whole argument once you allow multis. Maybe for a change, try out something cool like a pure class run, and you'll see some really, your constraints will make a lot of things apparent to you of how powerful a subclass is or could be, or like how gearing ends up changing your understanding of like the benefits of a subclass. Okay, so pure 12 is really underappreciated. I think people get carried away. They're like, I want to be the most ultimate paladin. Oh, what you want to do is get 2 level of paladin and go swords bard, and then you get everything you need, and then you should take warlock because then you'll get through. Okay. I'm not going to go into that. And again, I'm not throwing shade. I just think, again, with constraints, you find more flexibility than you thought you had before. You have more freedom than you thought, as long as you actually know some of the fundamentals, and that's why I like talking about this stuff. Okay, so let's just have some fun with some examples. There's more I could talk about this, and I've already rambled enough, so again, thank you for listening. Let's get to what most people are pretty excited about, like, oh, let's see what you did here, okay? I'm not going to break these down 100%, but Astarion's a little more loaded for a pure caster. He's the shake my hands, or the jokester, because you know, we can't call him a certain DC related supervillain, right? All right, so let's see. We got our jokester. I should really just give him some face paint, but let's have these 2 retreat elsewhere. That way we can be just solo, and I can kind of show this guy off a little more purely. Let's go back to here. Astarion is a good fit for a lot of things, really, because of the happy and his background and all that stuff. So just keep in mind we do get benefits from being Astarion, but you don't have to be Astarion for this build. Let's just look at some things, right? I do want to highlight, what if you were an Arcane Trickster and you were really trying to push it for that caster rogue, right? And you get all the benefits of being in the subclass without multi-classing. What's that pure class thing you were talking about is underappreciated. Okay. And then we'll try and show Ambusher mid-combat, not just as an opener. So what I'm trying to say here is you get 4 feats. You can build for 2 intelligence, 2 dexterity, 2 intelligence. We have the dexterity, or wait. I'm using the dexterity glove. That was a previous build. We can build for intelligence. We can build for actor. We can have our high charisma. That's where our other ASI was. So we have actor that gives us 1. We go from 17 to 18. So now we have really good charisma early game. So we could be a talking character early game and become more combat caster oriented later. We have 2 intelligence. So this brings us up to 18. From 16. We have the dexterity gloves, which you can buy or steal mid-game, or like early mid-game, really early on actually. So this brings us up to 18 dex, thus the 3 stat focus. We can have things like mage armor, long strider utility, or we could just steal the scrolls to do that, right? Or another character can give us long strider. But yeah, overall, we can get 4 feats to give us like a lot of flexibility in what we want to try and build for, which is the caster thing. So it's going to focus a lot around Shocking Grasp, but we still have the capability of using our sneak attack. Unfortunately, what would make Arcane Trickster really cool is if you could Shocking Grasp and get like lightning damage off of your sneak attack. That'd be crazy. But I'll show you how to sneak attack anyway, right? Because we have Hans. Ta-da! Alright, cool. So it won't come from our magic attacks or anything like that, but we can still do pretty competent attacks with our magic cantrip, right? And the reason I went with Charisma is twofold. I'm going to have the Potent Robes. This is going to give me more damage on my Shocking Grasp. This right here is going to use my Intelligence modifier, right? So that's going to be 5 more damage on our Shocking Grasp. So combined, they add something. This is also, since we're a bit of a unarmored build right here, we get 1 more armor class, so we still have good armor class. This gives us armor class. Okay, this sword right here, if we want to swing it and just use our weapon, this actually operates off of our intelligence even though we're not proficient. And then we do have 2 hand crossbows. Pick any ones you like. Can't be restrained or held down, and difficult terrain can't stop us. Since we are using a cantrip like this, we get a bonus from our intelligence on our crossbow and weapon attacks from Arcane Synergy. So you can see everything kind of rolls into each other. In fact, now I remember, my last feat out of the 4 was Savage Attacker. So my weapon and my sneak attacks are going to get, at least my melee weapon attacks are going to have more chances to roll higher because of Savage Attacker, right? This isn't like a huge thing, but I just wanted to have it on the build just to show you like maximizing sneak attack melee damage. But yeah, we also have the Shocking Grasp. This will also get rerolls from the helmet. I don't know how well this works, but I figured we can combo Savage Attacker and the hat. Okay, so a little too much over explanation, but let's go ahead with the hand. Hans, he's invisible. This is what's so cool about the class. We won't do anything too fancy with him on this example. We'll just see how he helps us in just general out and about combat. Yep, we attacked him. Okay. Alright, so we attacked him, and we have like crazy accuracy on that. You saw that. But we didn't get sneak attack. Is it just like not on reaction? What? No, it's available. So what's going on there? Okay, so you can do 2 things here, which is pretty cool, right? Because we use Shocking Grasp, and he was wearing metal, he gets the Shocking Grasp condition, and we do actually some pretty good damage, okay? And actually, I want you to see this with me, so I'll put away the notes, go back in here. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. So, we actually got 4 from our Charisma modifier, the robes. We got 5 additional damage from the amulet, and then we actually re-rolled, because I think that's our hat. So you can see we got higher rolls. Look, a 7 on one of them. That's pretty nice. Okay, so pretty awesome. And then also, he's got a condition now from Shocking Grasp. So can't take reactions, which I believe is because he was wearing metal. We had advantage on creatures with metal armor. That's why we get higher accuracy in a lot of stuff. And then targets can't use the reaction because of the Shocking Grasp condition, which means no reaction attack, right? So no opportunity attack. And then I do have 2 hand crossbows. I don't need extra attack to have 2 attacks. And because of sneak attack, I actually do good damage. But I don't have advantage against him. How can I get sneak attack? Because Hans is within 5 feet. Ba-ding. I just did monstrous amounts of damage to his health, right? I know that was a little quick to see, but that's why I wanted you to see this. 25 in force damage, which is something I want to show you. But we also got Arcane Synergy on our offhand weapon attack. So even though Rogue doesn't come with fighting style, thanks to the Arcane Synergy, which you're naturally investing in for intelligence, you're going to have 5 extra damage plus a magical attack on your offhand shot, and then whatever else it does, right? Pretty cool bonus. So now let's come over here. Go. I want the other guy to come over. Ooh, that was a bad hit. Ow. Hiya. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Now, a little caveat to the build. I actually have been growing to love this thing. Cold Snap is pretty awesome. So it gives you 1 armor class anyway, just for being in an offhand. And if people miss you, they have to roll a Constitution throw and potentially get chilled if they fail. So this guy failed. This guy failed. So watch what happens. We'll go ahead. We'll see if we can hit this guy like dirty. Watch this. Come over here. Okay. I don't have the best accuracy with this. Oh, damn. Oh. favorable beginnings from the brainworm. So hopefully this works out. So offhand attack, keep in mind, another good thing about our offhand attack, has cold damage, and he just made himself chilled, which means he's vulnerable to cold damage. And oh no! Ah, damn, we missed. All right. So what we'll do anyway is get the shocking grasp on him, set him up for later. Bam. So the chill damage would have doubled up our ice damage, plus we would have got the sneak damage from our little buddy here. Damn. I wonder show that. That's cool. Nah, oh. Watch, I'm gonna have lower accuracy and he's gonna like slam it. Ready? Okay, so let's see if we can get the ice damage. Nope. No! Astarion is sucking right now. Alright, well, that. Okay. At least we can see we have some decent armor class, not getting hit too much. As soon as I say that, he gets hit twice. There we go. Okay. So, let's see. Still chilled. We'll try and get it again. There we go. So if you look over here, vulnerable. So your offhand damage isn't too bad either, especially if you have arcane synergy. So you get the cold snap damage. You would have arcane synergy if we were hitting all that. Okay. And then you get the double cold damage right there as well. So arcane synergy up here, right? Not too bad for an offhand attack. And then sneak attack absolutely murders him. So not too bad on the weapon damage. Okay, but what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is even if we blew our action with shocking grasp, our offhand can get us a sneak attack. So we're actually very versatile in that way. And of course, we'll just zap you because you're wearing metal armor, dummy. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. What else do I want to kind of show here? Oh, okay. I actually have to reload just a little bit or tease somebody. Hold on. Hey, you. Come. You want to come down here? Be part of a demo? Yeah, sure did. Okay. Alright, so let's get a little healing going here. Oh, I can't drink that? Here. Just bring it over. Yeah, give it to Astarion. Sorry, bear with me. Got our actions all screwed up here. I'm gonna throw that at my feet. There we go. Handy's still invisible, so that's good for us. Come over here. Yeah, gotta love that crushing damage. Yep. Totally critically missed me, but you know. Okay. So let's go again with the heals. Try and get this working. Okay. I got so focused on that chilling attack. What I wanted to show is, okay, so especially in combat one-on-one, this is kind of crazy. So we're in combat already. Obviously, you could lead off with like hiding and pop out, magically ambush. They have disadvantage on the saving throw. What you can do is just avoid the attack, try and check what their line of sight is. But now that I'm not threatened, this is what I love about rogue gameplay, right? And any other rogue, you would just come out of here, hide, and then now you can get your sneak attack. We're not too worried about that. What we can do is at level 9, we get magical ambush. This is why these are highlighted right now. So this guy now has a disadvantage on the saving throw for being in sneak. Now he's hold, and if he can hold, keep the hold for next turn, right, we can absolutely abuse the, well, a couple things here. It depends what you want to see, but if we wanted to, right, since we have advantage, we wouldn't need handy here anyway, but we can absolutely critical hit with shocking grass, and if we put him wet, oh man, actually, hold on, I just had a nasty idea. Water, okay, yeah, show me the water. Now, show me Astarion. Okay, now what I'm going to do is drop this as a free action. Oh, this is dirty. I totally forgot I could do this. Alright, see, just come up with stuff on the fly. No, handy! Dummy. Aw, man. Alright. Stay there. Okay, cool. So what I was trying to do... Man. Alright. Okay, this guy's being a good boy. Here we go. So I was trying to stay invisible until I wanted to throw water on him. Right? With the free action. Now he's wet. It's going to be my turn. He's still stuck in there. Now, how bad is this going to hurt? Woo! So a cantrip just did 38 plus 38 because of vulnerability, the critical hit, being forced, and all that stuff. So that was pretty nasty. But that, oh man, talk about a handshake. It's crazy. Yeah, there's a horrible innuendo there too, so you can make up that one all on your own. Okay, let's reload this real quick. If my game didn't just fry. That was so powerful that my game just exploded. Okay. Let me pull back up the notes. Sorry about that. I'm having fun with this. Alright, so what about Minthara's build? What did I try to go for here? Well, it loads in. We went with a Poisonous Slicer. This is going to highlight a couple things. Dual wield? Dual wield. Okay. Dual wield. I wanted to highlight dual wield, the idea of not needing extra attack from, say, fighter. Even, like, I made the argument other subclasses are a little better for this, but Arcane Trickster is pretty flexible. It gives you this too, right? Also, this is just kind of abusing greater invisibility, but I'll show you that in a moment. Okay. Let's come out here more out and open combat. Mini's build is very straightforward. This is a set I show all the time. It's Poisoner's Triangle. When you get a heal, you get poison damage, magical damage, added to all your weapons. It's for 3 turns. But then, because you're doing poison damage, you're actually going to get the ability... Oh, if you do poison damage, you could potentially poison them, the condition. And then, if you poison them, you will actually get a heal, which will reset this. But also, if you heal, you will get... oh, wait, no. I was going to use the Bless Ring. I went for something totally different here. But if you poison them, you're also doing a condition, which is going to activate your Arcane Synergy, adding your intelligence to your attacks, right? These also, Thornblade, you can get 2 of these in a playthrough. I'm not lying. Unlike all the little tricks I use on mods to get a bunch of weapons and stuff, this is legit. You can get 2 Thornblades from Daemon at Act 2. All you have to do is buy one, come back the next day after a long rest, and buy another one. I don't know why it works that way. But, okay. So that means poison damage on top of poison damage. We concentrate, they both get a little 1d4 poison from concentrating. If we're concentrating, we get the Strange Conduit Ring, gives us psychic damage. And then also, if we're doing psychic damage, or they fail a saving throw from our poison rather, right? Then we actually get mental fatigue, which makes them even easier to keep poisoning and damaging and all that stuff, right? I just wanted to try that. But another option here is like... the Bless Ring, so when you get healed you get more accuracy and such. Okay, so another goofy trick here is Shapeshifter's Boon Ring. You can actually take this off after you shapeshift with it, and you can still keep the Mark of the Shifter bonus, which will help in the concentration of, or the stealth checks of keeping greater invisibility. I guess I should just lead off with that, because it's pretty dirty. So allow me to set up for just a second. We're going to put hands down here. I'm going to drag some initiative over here and some invisibility, and maybe I want haste, and maybe if we need to heal. So this is kind of the goofiness of having a hand that's invisible and can just stockpile a bunch of stuff. Okay. If you knew you were going into a fight, right? So let's go ahead, get handy over here. We'll drink this. Now he has high initiative, so just in case he does get caught or when he comes into combat from throwing something. But we'll see if we need him. If not, if it's cool, right? So what we'll try and do is go invisible and just absolutely abuse the expertise bonus on stealth. And then as we strike, we'll get a chance to poison. And as we poison, we get Arcane Synergy, we get more poison, and so on and so forth. Whoop. Let's stop him from moving around. Let's get our strikes in. Probably be a little more optimal with our action economy, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Can't see me. You need my expertise. So let's hit him with an offhand. He's dead anyway. Well, what do you know? Alright. And then we'll just come on over here. And that. And then we'll just sneak attack you while he investigates. And then we'll just keep murdering. And then let's actually pause the game so you stop running around. Let's just keep murdering. Beautiful. Let's come over here. What you doing? Everybody's hiding. I mean, this is just... yeah, darkness is cheesy. This is cheesy too. And what's funny is this is my example of an open fighter. Yeah, well, options are always nice, right? Just some dual wielding action from the shadows. Okay. And we are concentrating, so we should be getting some psychic damage too, I think. Yep, some psychic damage. It's doubled up with the Steep in Bliss item. And just nasty rainbow damage. Uh-oh. I'm gonna get you. Gonna get you. Sneak attack. Cause we're invisible. Dash over here. Yeah. So I think you kind of get the point of this build. A little stupid. In a fun way. Stupid. Okay. Let's see how many times we can hit the robot until we get knocked out of this. The way greater invisibility works is every hit is going to give you a bigger and bigger stealth check you have to overcome, right? And so you can keep abusing it for 10 turns if you really build for stealth checks, or you get knocked out of it like that. See? Now, uh-oh, I'm about to be spotted. I have no greater invisibility anymore, so even if Hans has to sacrifice himself, that's fine by me. Or if we get closer enough to each other, what we'll do is see if I can get a 2-for-1 special, thanks to Hans. Or actually, you know what? It would be more fair to kind of be like, oh, I've been spotted, you got me. Just one last sneak attack though, yeah, let's just slap this guy. Yeah. Oh no, I was witnessed. Oh golly gosh. Oh, I've been prone. Oh, it hurts. Oh, I'm in danger now. Yes, God, my mind. So if we need to, Hans could literally just, he's such a good friend. He sacrificed himself for us. Here we go. Here, take that. All right. And then I can just barely get away, I think. I know I got prone, so that kind of ruined my movement, but he'll be a distraction. Go fly over there. Oh! Go chase the hand. Yeah, heal. Wait, what was that? Did you just try to... Okay. And he'll try and detect us. And we just got away with all that murder. Wha-bam. Alright, check that out. Now, regular invisibility, obviously, if I start coming out of combat, you know, I can't do that as well. But what I can do is refresh. Now I can get my best buddy out. Uh-oh, we've been spotted. Us criminal. Oh, no, I guess he didn't care. You've been warned. Yeah, I know. It was just casual murder. No big deal. Okay, so come on over here. And like I said, in more out and open combat, thanks to the hand, maybe we can get the hit in. We get the sneak attack, right? All thanks to our hand buddy. That's cool. And then if you want to, you can maybe get a little poison spray going or acid. I doubt we're going to hit him with this, but we are more of a weapon fighter anyway. Whoa, bite! Robot! Hey, don't you hit me. Yeah, what a simp. Alright. Now we have Arcane Synergy from our effects going out. And of course, get another sneak attack and you murder. Woo. Now, cool thing is, because I was saying earlier as a caster, you do have shield on reaction. So you could be getting, like, in the more out and open fights, not abusing the invisibility. You could also just be hitting 2 weapons, just like you know, fighters or a martial. You get 2 attacks, right? Arcane Synergy really beefs up the second attack, the poison damage also, right? And then you do have shield for more defensive capabilities on top of your pretty good armor class. I think we could raise that a little more if we want to. Like the boots don't really need to be reverb boots. We could have an armor ring here. But yeah, very customizable. But I'm just trying to give more of a dual wield example, and obviously your defensive value comes from this. But if you want to do something simpler, you could put down a concentration spell like web, and you can just go to town on them, and you can wear boots that let you kind of walk on these with no problem, right? I'm immune to enwebbed. You have to step in my territory, very drow themed, okay? And then you can just entangle them and keep slapping them, and because you're concentrating, you're getting poison damage, psychic damage, and the psychic damage is doubled up thanks to the Resistant Stone. Okay, last example, let's go back to it. Ooh. Alright, and let's put it up. Yeah, we're back on screen, right? So Shadowheart has the Eldritch Trickster. I freaking love this. Eldritch Trickster is such a cool multi-class combo. Of course, I'm going to try and do a multi-class just to show you, but this is loaded 10 levels into Arcane Trickster, and then we'll complement 2 more levels. We still get 3 feats from 10 levels of Arcane Trickster, but we'll only need 2 levels of Warlock to be an Eldritch Blaster, like, just flat out disgusting, right? And there's some benefits to this as well, right? So you're still you're actually charisma-based Trickster now because you took Warlock secondary. So let's go into the game here. Get some Shadowheart over here. Alright, come over here. And this one is, of course, broken because we put all the broken things on there. But the fun little caveat here is we do have the Mage Hand enhancing it or giving it some flavor. But yeah, we're charisma-based Trickster because, just like Arcane Trickster, like very similar to the other examples, but we took Warlock as our new class. So we took Rogue first, we would be intelligence-based. If we're Warlock next, we are charisma-based. And now all of our spells and scrolls and spell modifier are based on charisma. So we get the best of all worlds, right? So we have just crazy stuff from Actor. We have tons of sleight of hand stealth. This is definitely a really good lone wolf build because you can just, especially in level 12, you have crazy stats. Crazy concentration, all that, and of course you have darkness abuse because you don't even need to know the spell. You could just steal a bunch of darkness from our sleight of hand and just, you know, abusing merchants and whatnot. So Shadowheart, we use that. There we go. Put this up on the screen, and of course we can also cast some pretty dangerous spells with our high spell casting modifier from Charisma, 25, 21. Rhapsody is insanely good for shooting Eldritch Blast and using spells. We're going to use the same trick with the Cold Snap, so if we freeze, like, get vulnerable. And then I'm going to show you that little trick with the Never Misser, doing force damage with your sneak attack on the offhand, adding more Eldritch Blast damage, so to speak, right? So let's go ahead and really abuse the crap out of this. Handy, I need you to, Hans, go over here to a safe place so you don't get smacked by a giant sword. And of course, with the high sleight of hand or stealth proficiency or expertise, right? So when we cast this, we'll have advantage on concentration, so if they do try to hit us. But the stealth is also like potentially very successful, that you can just stay out of turn-based mode and just keep blasting until you finally get figured out. Where is he? Ah! Where's it coming from? Very stupid. And this is why it would probably be pretty strong on a lone wolf. I'm like halfway through a run with this, but it's nowhere near this powerful yet because I'm not level 10. Can't abuse all this crap. Pew, pew, pew. I mean, man, that was... Could you just find me already? Look, the whole town's coming in here to try and kill me. Could you just please find me already? I'm trying to... Look, they're going after my buddies in the corner over there. Like, what the hell is this? Darkness is dumb. Don't worry, we'll do a video on darkness as if you needed one. Oh, good. I can finally show them the little trick. Oh, I've run out of Eldritch Blast. I want to get one more in. Okay. Hans, could you give me a hand? Oh, wait. Where'd Hans go? Did they find him? No. My little buddy. Oh. Oh. Well, poop. Okay. So, what we'll do is just reload that real quick. Okay, I think you get it. Blaster is OP. If you felt underpowered as an Arcane Trickster, you can take this little route for 2 more levels. You still get 3 feats. And let's go ahead and show you real quick before we stop it how to force damage with your sneak attack, right? I'll give you... this isn't hard to figure out. I just figured this might help you if you ever wanted to know how to do a little different damage type with your sneak attack, since it does operate off of the main weapon, okay? So, let's come out of hiding here again. So say you've exhausted all your Eldritch Blasts. This is what's fun about Eldritch Trickster. You still get the benefit of the hand. Also, if you have Shovel, since you are a Warlock, you could have two. You could have 2 little companions. You can have your hand for throwing things, and you can have Shovel, your little Quasit, for sneaking up on people, scaring them, and initiating combat, and surprising them, getting a free round of combat. Totally crazy, right? Okay, so remember the trick is, if you have Handy here and he's invisible, he can stay out of combat and fly in and fly out on your targets, right? Go woo, 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 woo. Okay, he can do that as much as he wants because he's not in turn-based mode. So he has infinite freedom and movement, okay? You're sitting in a darkness cloud. You finally got caught. You exhausted all your Eldritch Blast. Okay? And let's actually go into the turn-based mode. Okay, now we don't have the action. So what I want you to remember real quick for this, you can do this on any rogue, right? Doesn't have to be Trickster, but I think it's more thematic on the Eldritch Trickster. So if the Never Misser is in your main hand, right, it's going to give your sneak attack force damage. And you can know that's working because if you hold this as your little... I don't need to use this button, but you can just set it to reaction is what I'm talking about, right? But you can have this right here to demo it and preview. Okay, it is working correctly. Cool. Okay. Now remember with Arcane Synergy, the ring, when you blast, you'll get Arcane Synergy. So you're going to get more damage on your offhand, but it's going to be normal damage. Okay, so this will have enhanced damage, but it'll at least be enhanced with a little bit of Arcane Synergy, even though you don't have offhand combat. Okay, you should be pretty accurate if you have Rhapsody, you have decent decks and all that stuff. Okay, so what you'll do is have the hand next to him, and then even though you're using the offhand shot, the sneak attack comes from the main hand shot. Okay, there we go. And what you'll see is, zoom in a little bit, pop, it just did force damage. All right, and I'll pop this out of the way so you can see this a little bit more clearly. Go away. Okay, get back in the game here. Okay, so he did sneak attack damage. He was hit for force damage. He was hit for 1d force damage. Came from my gloves, by the way. So we were hit with an offhand shot. This would have Scarlet Remittance bonus and accuracy damage. Okay, damage and accuracy. But it would also have Arcane Synergy bonus damage. So it's actually a pretty good shot on its own. But your main sneak attack damage is now force, so you would get almost like another Eldritch Blast, and if you have these gloves, you get another dice roll in there, but it's not that important. The cool thing is, gives you force damage on your sneak attack and 1 initiative. That's why you have crazy initiative right there from alert and all that stuff. Okay. Woo, very self-indulgent video, I know, but I think the subclass is really cool, and I hope you enjoyed kind of going over some of these examples. Tons of cool stuff you could do with it. So as always, I do appreciate you guys for watching. Overall, my subscribers are my sponsors, so I don't do any kind of commercials or advertisements or whatnot, so thank you. And if you're excited about new subclasses or you wanted to talk about something, I love getting suggestions from my comments. I try to fill in and give my opinion on things, but I also try to just break it down objectively and see the benefits of certain mechanics or classes and stuff like that. All right, that's going to do it. Gone on long enough. Appreciate you guys, but I'll check you out in the next one.